Is, ma'am, you're charged with theft. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, ma'am.
On March 18th, 2025, at 5:21 p.m., an officer was dispatched to a theft at Walmart with a female in custody. Upon arrival, the officer took custody of the female identified by her Texas driver's license. The officer searched the defendant before passing custody over to another officer. That officer spoke to the loss prevention officer, who stated he was following the defendant in the store and observed her concealing items in her purse and backpack. This was done in a blind spot of the cameras, so there were not videos.
One courtroom, 4 cases, and every mistake is catching up fast. From theft to drunk driving to violence, the judge is locking it all down. No excuses, just consequences.
The defendant then continued shopping before checking out and paying for some items. The defendant did not pay for the items she had concealed in the bags and passed all points of sale before the loss prevention officer stopped her. The defendant admitted to stealing before turning the items back over. The total value of the items was $120.86.
Got it. Thank you. Ms. Dews, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with your case. I'm ordering you now as a condition of your bond not to go to any Walmart for any reason whatsoever. If I find that you do, I will revoke your bond, put you in jail, and no more PR bonds for you. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Likewise, if I find that you put any new cases, your bond will be revoked. You will go into custody, man. Do you have the ability to hire a lawyer? Okay, I will have you fill out an application. Deputy Miranda is going to give you an application. I'm going to have you sign a reset with Victoria. After that, we'll have you take a seat in the jury box while we get your bond conditions ready. Do not leave until you sign them. Okay? Please. Do you mind filing those? No going to any Walmart?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anywhere.
No Walmarts anywhere.
Anywhere.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Frank Reyes.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Reyes, you're charged with driving while intoxicated, second offense. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you. Simply. Okay.
Officer was dispatched to a minor crash in Harris County, Texas, where the defendant had rear-ended the complaining witness. Upon contact, the officer found the defendant in the driver's seat, slipping in and out of consciousness. When the officer woke the defendant up, the defendant attempted to start his car and drive away, but at that point, officers had his keys. The officers did not notice any injuries on the defendant. When the defendant exited the car, he was unsteady, and officers observed an odor of alcoholic beverages, bloodshot eyes, and slurred speech. The defendant admitted to drinking at a bar earlier. Standardized foot sobriety tests were conducted, and the officers observed 6 out of 6 on the HGN, 8 out of 8 on the walk and turn, and 4 out of 4 on the one-leg stand. While en route to the Joint Processing Center, the defendant fell asleep in the officer's vehicle. At the Joint Processing Center, officer read the DIC and defendant consented. However, the defendant fell asleep again and began vomiting. The defendant was transported to the hospital, and a blood warrant was signed and executed.
So no breath test was done.
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Can you run his license, please? See if he has a valid license.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Reyes, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with your case. You are not allowed to drive unless you have a valid Texas driver license and liability insurance in your name. If you do not, I'm going to give you a portable device. You're not allowed to drive any vehicle from now on that's not equipped with an ignition interlock on it. If you're caught driving a vehicle that doesn't have an interlock on it, I'm going to put you in jail and I'm going to make your bond high. Do you understand?
I understand.
It says ineligible, Your Honor.
You are not allowed to drive. You will be signing an affidavit with me today promising you're not going to drive. Mr. Reyes, this warning, if I find that you drive, I can have a contempt hearing. You can be facing an additional 6 months in jail and a $500 fine every time you get into a car and drive. Do you understand?
I understand.
You cannot justify driving for any reason. I don't care if there's a burning building and you have to save 50 babies. Do you understand?
Mhm.
I'm sending notice now to DPS so that every single officer in the state knows that you are not allowed to drive a vehicle that doesn't have an interlock. If you're caught driving a vehicle, it doesn't have an interlock, they will arrest you and put you in jail. I am now giving you a portable device that you're going to take with you everywhere you go to prove to me that you're not consuming alcohol. You will also be tested for illegal drugs as well. You test positive, you consume alcohol, into jail you will go. You have the ability to hire lawyers, sir.
I do.
We're going to give you time. I'm going to have you come up here, swear to us that you're not going to drive. I'll get you to Victoria. We'll have you sign a reset. You will get with police for your bond conditions, and after that, you're free to go.
Please confirm that you can.
Good morning, Mr. Sullivan. Sir, you were charged with assault with a family member. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor. On March 23rd, 2025, at approximately 15:39 hours, the law enforcement officer was dispatched to an address in Harris County, Texas. In reference to a disturbance, the law enforcement officer arrived on scene. They made contact with a witness who stated that her husband, the defendant, had been arguing because her adult daughter does not like the defendant and asked the complaining witness to pick between having a relationship with her and her grandchildren or the defendant. The complaining witness stated she decided to sever a relationship with her daughter and informed the defendant that she would be moving back to Arizona. The complaining witness stated this upset the defendant and he began arguing with her. She then expressed that she hated him and this made the defendant more upset and he told her to hit him if she hated him so much. The complaining witness stated she hit Mr. Sullivan with a closed fist on the head and face area 3 times before losing balance, slipping and falling. This fall caused her to hit her face on their bedroom dresser. The complainant witness then said she got up and crawled into bed and she was laying on the furthest corner of the bed closest to the wall and covered her body with a blanket. The complainant witness said that approximately 10 minutes went by. Mr. Sullivan, the defendant, continued to argue with her. He crawled on bed, grabbed her, flipped her over, her back was on the mattress, and used his body weight on top of her while placing both hands on her upper arms to hold her down. The complainant witness said this caused her pain and she was able to free one of her arms and use her hand to grab the defendant's genital area and making him let go of her completely. The defendant then used his right hand and punched the complaining witness on her mouth, causing pain and visible injury. The complaining witness added the fight then diminished, the law enforcement officer observed visible injuries, including large purple bruises on both arms and injuries to the top and bottom inner lip.
Laser, you hearing this?
Yes, Your Honor.
Interesting. So she's the initial aggressor, though, correct?
Your Honor,
So it looks like he says, hey, hit me, antagonizing. She gets into it. She pops him, what, 3 times in the mouth, you say?
Yes, Your Honor.
No, don't say anything.
sorry. So, Your Honor, only thing I would ask is, this is not home court's case. If we can just stand down, wait for the DVD prosecutor to be here. I don't know if he's spoken to the complainant yet, if he has anything more to add. I would just ask the court to withhold the finding until we can get the prosecutor.
All right, Mr. Sullivan, just do me a favor. Will you just take a seat behind the jury box? I'm going to get, I'm going to also appoint him a lawyer, if you don't mind. I'm going to appoint him someone as well so we can do just.
That's totally fine, Your Honor. Let me, and I'll email DVDs.
Okay, all right.
Thank you.
Do me a favor, just take a seat for me real quick, all right?
All right, Judge, next is.
You're Abner Guzman.
Guzman.
Yes.
Mr. Guzman, you're charged with
Guzman,
displaying a
acusado
fictitious license plate,
con red flag asking.
6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Thank you. On March 24th, 2025,
Marzo del 25,
at around
a las
11:20
9
a.m.,
11:20 mañana,
officers were dispatched to a
los
B&B
oficiales
call
fueron despachados
at 2520 Airline Drive
2520 Airline Drive
in Harris County,
en el
Texas.
condado Harris, Texas.
Upon arrival,
Al llegar,
officers
los
observed the
oficiales
defendant's
observaron el acusado
vehicle parked in the west side parking lot
estacionado en un lote de estacionamiento
near the fence of the
cerca de la
Houston
cerca
Farmers
del
Market,
Houston Farmers Market,
with the front passenger window broken.
con la ventanilla del pasajero del frente quebrada.
Officers
Los
conducted a vehicle
oficiales
check
hicieron un registro de vehículo
on the temp license
en
plate
la licencia de manejar temporal,
and returned
pero
about
la
match
placa y regresó, lo tenía ahí,
the defendant's
de
vehicle.
del acusado, el vehículo del acusado. Perdón.
At 12
A
p.m.,
las 12 p.m.
the defendant arrived
el
on
acusado
scene,
llegó,
told officers that he was the owner of the
le dijo que
vehicle.
era el dueño del vehículo.
Defendant was
El
detained.
acusado fue detenido.
Defendant said he had purchased the
Él
vehicle
compró el vehículo
5 years prior
5 años anterior
in Florida
en la Florida
and paid an additional fee for the seller
costas adicionales al vendedor
to change the title
para
to
que le
the name.
cambiara el título,
But the seller did not do that.
pero el vendedor no lo hizo.
Defendant stated he met a
El
woman
acusado declaró que él conoció a una mujer
on WhatsApp
en WhatsApp
who offered him a
que
fake
le
temporary license
ofreció
plate
una placa falsa temporal
for $40,
por $40
which he purchased.
que él compró.
Defendant stated he had
El
been
acusado
driving the
dijo que había
vehicle
estado manejando el vehículo
with fake temporary
con
license
las
plate
placas temporales falsas
for 4 years.
por 4 años.
The defendant was
El
ID'd by his
acusado fue
Guatemalan passport.
identificado por el pasaporte de Guatemala.
Mr. Guzman, I'm going to
Señor
find that
Guzmán,
there's
encuentra
sufficient
que hay
probable cause to go
suficiente
forward.
causa para seguir hacia adelante con su caso.
If you do not have a Texas
Si
driver
usted no tiene
license
licencia de
and
manejar en
liability
Texas,
insurance in your
el
name,
seguro,
you are not allowed
su
to
nombre
drive.
no se le
I
permite
don't
manejar.
care what you need
A
to
mí
do in
no
this
me
life.
importa qué tienes que
If
hacer
you're not
con
properly
esto. Si
licensed
usted no tiene
and have
licencia
insurance,
funcional y tiene seguro de carro,
not
no
drive.
maneje.
You'll be signing a promise with me. This is an affidavit that you're going to swear to me that you're not going to
Claro
drive.
que usted no va a
You
manejar
cannot justify driving for any reason.
al manejar
If I
con
find that you do, I will revoke your bond and put you in jail.
confianza y lo pongo
I
en
don't know what
cárcel.
your immigration status
Pero
is,
su estado
but if you're not in this country with permission
en este
and you go to jail,
a la cárcel,
and immigration finds you,
encuentra
they
la
will put a
migración,
detainer on you and you will be stuck like Chuck in there until this case is over with,
caso se
and then you
acabe.
get shipped off to immigration.
Yo,
Do you understand?
¿entiende?
Sí, sí.
Yes.
Do not.
No maneje.
This is the only bond condition that you have. Do not pick up any new cases as well. If I find that you're a danger to my community, likewise, I will put you in jail.
Igualmente no.
You have a lawyer. Because you have a lawyer, I will waive your appearance, but it is your responsibility to stay in touch with him. If he tells me that he cannot get a hold of you because you're playing games, you're not responding to phone calls, text messages, likewise, I will revoke your bond. Do you understand?
Lo entiende. Yes.
Okay. I'll have you sign a receipt, Victoria. We'll have you swear to us that you're not going to drive, and after that, you're free to go.
Thank you, Judge. Maybe excuse me. Thank you.
Yeah. Take
In court, every choice comes back to you. Ignore the law, and the system hits back harder. This is what accountability really looks like.